Welcome to Burning Metal Shooting the Breeze, episode 23. In this episode, I'm joined by Fornoth, ahead of their performance at the new Blood stage at Bloodstock. How are things, lads?
Pretty good. Doing pretty well.
You're looking forward to making your bow at one of the biggest metal festivals in the world, anyway, yeah?
Well, I don't really know what to feel yet, but I'd say when we get there, it'll all get pretty exciting. I mean, of course, it's already exciting, but still kind of like, is it too good to be true? But it's not. Pretty exciting times.
When you walk in through the gates of there now, and you just see that place, and you'd be like, "Oh, this is great. This is brilliant." Because none of you have been to Bloodstock, no?
I've never been to Bloodstock, let alone any other metal festival ever. So this is like all going to be a first for me myself. So
yeah,
it's very exciting.
Never been to any multi-day festivals at all.
Yeah, neither. Not only like going to a festival for the first time, but like also playing it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you're playing at one of the best as well too. Bloodstock is so well organized, top to bottom. It's flawless. Obviously, well, nothing is flawless, but Bloodstock is as close to flawless as it can be. Like, they really know what they're doing there. And the new Blood stage is very well ran too, of course. So, and you're on Friday, I believe, yes?
Yep, Friday at 5.
That's a good day to be playing because everyone kind of comes in on Thursday, and you've got Friday, especially on Friday, people will be still sort of together. Like if you're playing on Sunday, it could go wrong because there'll be a lot of lads could be down on Sunday, like
They'll all still be fresh, first proper day in music, so they'll all be up for it,
Yeah, exactly. And if they do, Thursday is kind of a party night, so there will be people that'll go hard at it, but it's more kind of just bedding in, getting used to the surroundings, and finding where your bearings are and all the rest. So, but no, it's a great festival to play, and fair play to getting through to the final because you are relatively a new band. You're not new as such because of everything that happened, wiping 2 years off the calendar. But it was 2019 when you really started to make yourself a scene.
We did Melt of the Masses in 2019, and we had our first gig in like September of 2018, I think. But we didn't really, kind of into there doing these small. I think we did like 2 or 3 gigs before we did Melt of the Masses, so nobody really knew what we were. We were kind of just playing to our friends, really, and stuff like that, which was, getting the live thing to like work, seeing how it works for us, and just experimenting. And the live practice before we played our first Melt of the Masses gigs was probably a very big advantage because I thought we played pretty nicely for our first ever Melt of the Masses, and we seemed to get a good reception as well. So we kind of just took that and rolled with it, I guess.
Yeah, because I remember at the time there was noise made about this new band, Fornoth. You hadn't anything released as such at that time, maybe a demo or something.
Not even.
And the next thing, you were headlining the Unleashed Festival, and Robbie McCabe used to put on, and so that was a big plug for a new band to instantly get headline on a festival, like, even though it's not a big festival, but still it's a plug all the same, like.
And it was really fun. That was a good night, I have to say. It was like for a metal band that only just starting, seeing people like mosh and like jump off the stage and stuff, that's like pretty cool, especially for like a 19-year-old kid. But I was back then.
That all you were, I suppose. Yeah, you were.
Yeah, but that was 2019, and then we did some other shows and went to England and stuff, and then everything kind of just stopped. But for everybody, of course, but we didn't really know what was going to happen for a little while, so still here.
Oh no, you've definitely got your own sound in regards to the Irish scene. There's nobody else that sounds like you, like.
I know we've got some close competitors. We've got Eternal Hellcarax kind of does similar things to us, and Grief Eater we saw at the Conan show, and they've definitely got sort of a little portion of our sound down as well. So you could definitely piece it together with them and Grey Stag and all that. But we're turning another direction again with this new recording stuff. So
all right.
So we're always trying to keep ahead of the metal scene, Wait, we sound like someone else? No, thank you.
We always, I think, trying to keep originality is always like the at the forefront of our minds when we're trying to write music. You know what I mean? There's a lot of when we first started writing stuff, you could definitely tell, oh, this sounds like there, oh, that sounds like Amon Amarth. They were all pretty like that. But then as kind of time went on and we got into ourselves more, it kind of became apparent that we had our own kind of thing going, that we were able to like develop and you know, keep it going.
Yeah, like our last release there, From Across the Moors, you can even see the difference between like Frost, which was written, like that isn't a Monomart song. And then you've got stuff like Cursed by Moonlight and Dullahan, and it's like, who? Who are you? That's
Yeah, Frost was definitely one of your earliest tracks, wasn't it? I think it was when your first release, like.
That was, I'm pretty sure you wrote that before the pandemic as well. So it was definitely, more of a thrashier sound to it, down picking and fast drums and all that. And then it wasn't as like, as opposed to now, our music is more melodic and it's harder to play, it's more complex, like that. So
definitely harder to play.
Definitely.
Yeah, Philip, I think you're thinking of Puka. They sound very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Puka was on our first thing there, whatever that was called. Mistinmerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you have 3 EPs on an album now? Is that right, yeah?
We have. Sort of. We never really considered our music, oh, we're releasing an EP or we're releasing this. We kind of just did it, okay, we're just releasing songs. But I guess, From Across the Moors, 4 songs, that's an EP. The first ever recording we did of Mr. Merrick, which was like 3 songs and a couple of awful live songs. We kind of wish that recording didn't exist, but it's kind of too late now. So we also did a split EP with Horrenda, which was that I kind of like the sound of that. But listening back to it now, I'm like, wow, stuff is still like, the sound has changed a lot.
Yeah, our only album is acoustic, which is funny, but
yeah,
it's not really an album, because it's only like 18 minutes, I think, is what it runs to.
Yeah, it's like 11 songs, 18 minutes of music.
Yeah,
that was something we did in the pandemic as just something to do. Me and John had loads of acoustic little bits written, and we just said, we'll just record it, and that's how that kind of came about. Like the whole band playing a trad piece in the middle of it, which was pretty cool, I thought.
I like how it flows. The story as well.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's good to, we're a metal band, but we also like these other things, like nice acoustic music. Like it's something that I like to listen to, and we all like to listen to. So broadening the horizons, I guess.
Oh yeah. So I remember the way it was at least it was something to be at, because he couldn't do anything in a studio, because even if he got into the studio, the chances are it could be closed down again in a week's time anyway. So there was no point in even attempting it. Like
just practicing, letting alone getting into the studio. Practicing as a band was impossible for months and months and months. So we just wanted to have something to say, like, we're still here, we're still writing music. This isn't a metal release, but it's like, this is what we've been doing for the past like year and a half. It's something to listen to. It's something that you might like.
Yeah, sure. And as you say, with the whole black metal thing, the folky aspects can be accepted as well too. Like people that listen to black metal usually accept that. So it's as I say, it was just something to keep your name out, and it worked, because you've kept your following and you've come back, and now you're playing Bloodstock. So it didn't do you any harm anyway, did it?
It did not. Yeah. I never thought it would, but it's definitely it's I think it's a part of our music that I like, is that it's not just straight up metal. If you want, we have something else to offer.
Yeah. I wish we could have done a Vanquish Dreams or something at the Bloodstock set, or the Metals Masses set, I should say. That'd have been so good. Halfway through, just pull it in acoustic. Like, do, 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 do.
I always think about like, how could we do an acoustic set of just like that album? It's something that I think about a lot. Like, how could we pull it off? Without people being like, what on earth is going on?
I'd say that'd be difficult. I'd say you might have to just go and play in the Claire Morris folk festival or something. And say, we're just going to play this. Like, there'd be a way of doing it.
There is a way. There's always a way.
There's a way of doing it. There's plenty of folk festivals around Ireland that you can play that at. Like,
loads of folk festivals around Ireland, like non-stop.
Possibly pushing for us to record an acoustic version of Dullahan, or our new one, Ferryman, would be really good acoustic.
Really good. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying that before. We were just looking before. We had another lad that was on, but he couldn't stay on. He kept getting cut off. But you were saying you've got a recording coming up.
Mm-hmm. yeah, that was John, our kind of our main songwriter, I think. He's written most of the Charlie's written a new one there now, and he's written a few in the past, but it tends to be John. And yeah, no, we've with the recording we got off of the When the Metal to the Masses, we got a couple of days at Track Mix with Michael Richards, and yeah, we're gonna record a song or two, maybe, depending on how it goes. You know, you can never tell if you're gonna get it right first day, but
Yeah, when you have 2 days to record 2 songs and they're pretty complex songs, you just kind of have to. We're just taking it as it comes. So it's either going to be one song or it's either going to be 2 songs, and you know, whichever comes out of it we'll see.
Yeah, and this is the first time recording with our new drummer Lachlan, so we don't know what he's like in the studio yet. But,
we do know what he's like.
We know what he's like in real life.
Like our old drummer left and we found this new drummer, and you know, he sent us music, and he's like played music in lots of different kind of bands, and he sent us this recording he did up north with the band, and when I heard the drums and that, I was like, this is really, really good. I was like, this is class.
Well, that's good. So because if it's very different from playing live to playing to a click, like.
Yeah, totally different. But either way, we know Lachlan's a really good drummer, and we want to do everything we can to keep him like developing and stuff at the same way we are. So we're just gonna see what happens next week, and it's exciting. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, Philip, I don't know if you've seen any of our shows since like the last 5 or 6 shows that we've done since pandemic stopped. Have you seen any of them? Or
no, I haven't been to any. I haven't been to any shows, but I've heard, like, I'm based in Roscommon, so it's
yeah, no. Yeah, I saw Adrian at the Organ Blender headline show there that you guys were talking about in your May roundup there. And I was like, where's Philip? Because I really wanted you to see our new, like, our old songs, and like the drumming for them is very like da, 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 you know, that like stupid, the normal 6/8 thing that everyone does. And I think introducing Lachlan to the band has really flavored up the drums a lot, and we've got a lot more texture and a lot more dissimilarities. It's a lot more. Yeah, the drums don't all sound the same, basically.
I think
which will be good.
Having a new drummer in the band was a really big thing for us. From having the same drummer for like 4 or 5 years to having this new drummer with a completely different style, it's also like challenging us to write in a different way, but still like keeping it the way we want it, but having to develop ourselves with a new drummer, and it just like adds. Lachlan's adding like so much to this new music, and we're really, really happy with it.
That's good. That's great. And do you plan to get the release out for before Bloodstock or after it?
That's the plan.
Yeah, before Bloodstock, hopefully. We've yet to got any artwork for it or anything, so we'll see. But you know, with the distributors you got now, the DistroKid and the TuneCore, it'll be, you know, we might end up getting CDs for it, and we might not, depending on how long that takes, because I know printing off CDs kind of takes a while if you want to do it properly. Like, yeah, we'll have it out probably before Bloodstock on streaming and stuff anyway.
Well, that's nearly the biggest market now, is the streaming market anyway. So if you get it on that, and just make sure you plug it at Bloodstock as well too. Like, and I assume you know that when you're on stage to keep saying who you are over and over and over again.
Yeah, we can't have any banners or anything because they've got ads on the stage. They told us, so it'll be non-stop every song. We are Fornoth.
You get the small ones, the stand-up ones, can't you?
We could get we could bring the Irish flag off the gate the show and then put it back.
Get somebody to run around on stage with it, like holding it up, running up and down.
I was saying that to you beforehand as well, lads. It's the ultimate way to promote a Bloodstock if you're an Irish band is to get an Irish flag and cable tie it to the Midgard main entrance there, because thousands and thousands of people will see it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll definitely take that.
Yeah, because they don't like you handing out physical stuff, because, you know, cleaning up afterwards. And I've heard of bands that handed out all this physical stuff and it didn't go down too well because the organisers were finding the name of the fucking band everywhere, and they're like, "Oh, these fuckers are never coming back here again."
We definitely want to be invited back.
Yeah. we don't want to be burning any bridges now, for sure.
We'll be up there next to Behemoth next year.
Yeah, you're gonna stay for the whole weekend, yeah?
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Who's the bands you're most looking forward to?
I really want to see
Yeah.
Discharge. There's like they're only a little tiny name and I was like punk band, but like my brother always like made me listen to them. So like it's just kind of something that I want to see. But like Behemoth and stuff like that, like the main black metal act, I think that'll be my first like proper black metal show. And Testament, I want to see them. I don't really listen to them, but Dave Lombardo is going to be the drummer, so like I 100% have to see that.
Technically, Behemoth are death metal. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to Soen. I don't know if you know Soen. They're kind of like this like proggy pop. Like I don't know. It's like if Tool were good. No, it's yeah, they're a pretty big name. They keep coming up on my Spotify mixes and stuff with the likes of like Woods of Eep and Leprous and all that. But they're yeah, that's who I'm probably looking forward to seeing the most. I'm actually not sure who's playing really.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna have to bring up
the dissected, the whole lineup yet, but I just have like the few big ones I want to see, and the Guar are going to be playing, so I want to see them too. That's going to be interesting.
that odorous though.
They're playing on the Friday. They also hope that they don't clash with you or near with you.
I will see. I won't be mad if I miss them, but I would like to see them.
Oh, there's so many great bands. You've got Lamb of God, of course, Merciful Fate.
Oh, I didn't know Merciful Fate were playing.
Merciful Fate, their headline.
The biggest name on the thing.
Yeah.
I can't read, so.
True. Oh, actually, we played with Beast, who were playing the festival as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Beast, we opened for them.
All right, the Danish boys.
Yeah.
We played with them in the Grand Social. That was like one of our first like the gigs back, really. And
yeah, after the pandemic.
And I thought they were really good.
Yeah, that's a shame about Johnny calling it a day, isn't it?
What?
Johnny Shizna is calling it a day.
Is he?
Yeah, he is, man. He's already sank Shizna, cancelled all the forthcoming shows.
Oh, Johnny McKee. Sorry, from Shiznig. Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you meant from the guys in Beast.
Are going ahead until 2023, and that's it. It's all over.
Mm.
So he probably got on one of his last shows.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Peter Phillip definitely got the the majority of them, though. He's putting them nonstop. Yeah, I've just had a look at the thing as well, and is that Dark Tranquility and Sleep Token also look very good. I would like to see those if I can.
Cattle Decapitation are there as well too.
Oh,
yeah, Cattle Decap have they took the world by storm, of course, with that
video.
the
Bring back the plague video.
Yeah, not the video, just the song, the premonition.
Exactly. Yeah. Calling the tour "Pandemic Across Europe," and next thing, cancel their tour.
Lovely stuff. We love a death metal band that doesn't take itself seriously.
Cattle Decapitation are brilliant live, so if you get the chance, check them out. But sure, you'll probably be, if the weekend goes on, you'll probably be seeing bands you won't even know who they are half the fucking time. Like that's what happens. Like you'll wander into a stage and you could spend half an hour there and they go, "Oh, they were good," and try and figure out who they are afterwards. Like,
yeah, I was thinking we'd probably end up spending a lot of the time in the New Blood tent, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Just trying to see who's out there at the same scale as us, because like finding bands to tour with is surprisingly difficult. That like fit our we like Organ Blender a lot, and we're trying to organize a tour with them at some stage, but it's not the same music at all, so it might be a bit of a thematic dissonance type thing.
And also trying to organize a tour with different bands. Like we were trying to organize a tour with Tombs, who are also going to Bloodstock.
Yeah.
And like we just left it too short notice, and so we just kind of went, let's just make it easier on all of us, and let's just play Bloodstock and organize a tour well in advance next time we want to do it.
Yeah, it's not really so much us. It's just that the actual announcement, they don't give us enough time. It's like 3 months between winning it and going to Bloodstock, and no one's free. No one's got everyone's booked up for like 6 months anyway.
Yeah.
For shows, so. Especially if you're going on international. We tried to do something in Germany, and God, we emailed must have been 50 plus different places in Leipzig, Berlin, and nothing. Like we got one maybe, and it just wasn't worth it, Yeah.
Would you be with Bloodstock now will be a good help to get the name out, and that's a good idea, hanging around the new Blood stage, trying to see can you interact with other people and maybe do a bit of networking, because that's a really smart move actually. I never would have thought of that myself until you said it, but no, that's a great idea, because most bands just play their set and fuck off and go to
the bands you want to see, but like some of the most important things when going to concerts and seeing music is the bands that you have no idea who they are. Like when we went to go see Conan in the Grand Social, the first band playing was Grief Eater, and we sat there watching them, and we were all just like completely taken away. Like, this is absolutely amazing. So sort of ambient, dark doom music. It was just like really good. Immediately had to buy their vinyl. But like that's the kind of most satisfying thing about seeing new bands and stuff, I think, is when they blow you away and you're like, these guys, they should be bigger, you know.
Yeah, we try to keep an ear to the ground in the local scene, and it's
Yeah,
like
sure.
Unmaker have gone to like every one of our shows, like every single one of our past 10 shows. So they we
Like,
heard a bit too much about them, but
Oh, and Maker are doing well now. They're doing it right. They're getting their name out properly.
they're working
playing
hard.
everything.
They are so well rehearsed. Yeah.
Yeah, releasing lots of music. It's just like good. It's just nice to see, you know.
Yeah.
Also a band that came from like the ashes of a different band joined together, and
Infectious, wasn't it?
like yeah. Infectious. I think Aaron came from Infectious, and the drummer.
I think it was every single one of them was in Infectious.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was everyone except Mikey.
Either way, it's just like they're a great band that have come out, and like we like them. They're good guys, and they like us. So you know, it's a good relationship to have, I suppose. Like when you're mates with another band, it's always great.
Yeah, I noticed that the one thing though about the Irish scene at the moment though, especially in Dublin, it seems to be the same bands kind of over and over at the minute though, doesn't it? Like it's
Yeah, there's not
no real bands coming from the country, really, is there? Outside War of Attrition, there doesn't seem to be.
Organ are from Galway, and they've been coming to Dublin a lot recently. Like we played a gig, was the last Friday or the Friday before, we played a headline show in Fibbers again at like 11:45, and we got Organ Blender to play that. And then at the same night, like before we played that gig, they were also playing downstairs. So that's all we did the same thing, like our first gig out of the pandemic, and that was fun. Extremely tiring, but like still.
That gig was also an Unmaker gig. Which just shows how many shows they're getting.
That's actually a good point, because I remember before the pandemic there was lots of different bands. You know, I remember following the Signs. I like them. We went to play with them. I can't even remember all the names of these bands, but I do remember.
Yeah, it was in Spot and Falling.
They were really good.
And there isn't Dread as well. They're actually still around, which I was surprised by. But they won the Vacan thing.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, we didn't get to. We were too late emailing to join. But I'm glad they got it of the bands that went, because it was a metalcore fest. You know, like they were the only metal band on the register there. But
Wacken is an expensive one to play though.
Really?
Well, you've got to travel all the way over to Germany, like.
That's true. Worth it though. Playing the biggest metal festival in the world.
But I don't know, is it, man?
I don't know if it is. Yeah, like Bloodstock is kind of like its own town, whereas Vacan is sort of more like you get lost in it, you know.
Yeah.
Like the kind of networking we'd be trying to do in Bloodstock would sort of would be less productive in Vacan, I think.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to find anyone.
Wacken is a totally different thing. Like I remember back in the day, it's a good few years ago now. I seen Gojira in a tent the size of the New Blood tent that you'd be playing in, and it wasn't even full. Like,
really?
Yeah, because there was so much going on. There was Iron Maiden was over here, and somebody else was over there. So it was, you know, it's beneficial. Of course, it's beneficial to play, but if you're on a smaller stage at Wacken, you mightn't be found at all. Like, you know, at least at Bloodstock, there's only you haven't seen Bloodstock, but when you'll go in, it'll be the Sophie Lancaster. You'll see the whatever area they have set up this year, be a strongman or a gaming area, whatever it is. You'll have the main stage of the Ronnie Dio, and you'll have the New Blood over there. Like, it's literally so compact. Like, you know,
cool. I like that.
You will be found, like, because there's nothing on the Sophie Lancaster that they're feeling around the main stage. The chances are you get a good crowd on the New Blood, like. Because I've seen a lot of Irish bands over the years, like 10 Ton Slug, man, it was fucking jammed, and it was only like 12 o'clock in the day, like.
Yeah, I heard. Was it John told the story, or was it you?
Yeah, John told us this.
Yeah, about 10 Ton Slug advertised free beer at their show.
The cans of beer to their show advertised that there would be free cans, and on every can they had, they like put a sticker of their band on the can. That is just genius. That is pure genius.
Psychosis done that as well too. They made their own homebrew.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Psychosis.
Well, that's a little different, isn't it?
Tony used to brew his own beer when he was in the band, and they used to bring it over and throw it out into the crowd, like. And
Good.
that was well too.
Never say no to a free beer.
Yeah, ASEC done that as well. Actually, they went around the campsite handing out cups to people.
Already?
Yeah, they printed out black cups. I should have brought fucking. I thought I would have brought one up, but a black cup with the ASEC logo, and they went around the campsite handing it to people, and people were like, "Oh, a free drop, a free cup. This is fucking great."
Yeah.
So if you maybe, I don't know if it'd be in your budget if you could do it, but that could be an option for you as well too, because people handing out people cups, they'll be very appreciative, and especially in the campsite. Like,
You talking like mugs, or are you talking about red cups like the?
they're just little small
Party
plastic cups.
Oh yeah.
All like plastic cups. They're like not hard plastic, but they're solid. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
not the
I know the
logo
ones
on
you
it,
mean.
like.
The water cooler type ones.
No, I was like, it's like a shot, like for drinking like say a gin and tonic.
Oh no,
or
yeah, no, sorry,
Coke or
yes.
something. That kind of a job, like, you know.
We might switch to paper, keep their carbon footprint down. But,
Cheaper too.
Cheaper too, yeah.
cheaper too, yeah. But of course, it's for the carbon footprint. Any relation to fiscal responsibility is completely unintentional.
Bloodstock are good for that though, man. They really have been over the last year now. I was there last year. They couldn't do the single-use plastic last year because it was the first
Really?
one back, and they had to everything had to be dumped because
Yeah.
they couldn't be handing over people's cup because it was rampant around the place last year, man. It was just every few minutes you'd hear someone start roaring, coughing, and next thing, oh jeez, the next thing they'd be gone. And so it was too early really to bring it back. And I know two lads, like one of the lads from Grey Stag caught it there at the time, Charlie and Matty, should I say, and he got an awful fucking hammering off it, like. And I'm Wayne.
There's a great stack, Charlie.
That was.
They got it again a couple of weeks ago because we almost what was that show? It was War of Attrition, Grey Stag, and someone else.
Oh yeah.
In Galway, or
yeah, I think it was in
Black
Galway.
Show.
Black Shuck. It was Black Shuck. Yeah.
They asked us to play that, and we couldn't. When Grey Stag dropped out of it. It was like just too short notice, so we just went.
Yeah, it wasn't really our type of show anyway. Like it's not the kind of, we wouldn't have been in good company, if you know what I mean. Like if it was Grey Stag wasn't the one dropping out, maybe, because I'm a big fan of them. I don't know if Charlie's into it, but
never really listened to it, which is weird because I would have thought I would have at this stage. I would have thought I'd seen them.
You should definitely listen to them. It's fantastic.
We could do that.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have been a bad show for you because it was in Sile Longs, like, so if Sile Longs is free in, so you would have got a crowd by default.
Like we've never actually played in Galway either, which is something that we've always wanted to do. We played in Galway, and now we're going to be playing in Belfast on the 10th of December. The Jake, a 2-day Crypt of the Riff.
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing that in December. So we're also looking forward to that. It'll be very exciting. And the Voodoo in Belfast is a great venue as well. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's True Home played there last week.
Played there. I'm in another band called True Home with my friend Declan. It's just drums and bass, like meditative drone doom stuff. And we played there the other week, and we had a great time. It was really good. They have like it's also like one of the only venues that I've played in, other than like maybe Workman's, that has a green room, and they like give you free beer, and it's like, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I like beer.
Hey, thank you. So
you never know. Fibbers could be worth playing now next year if this fucking hotel thing goes ahead, couldn't it? That's it.
Maybe. Like, Fibbers is already part of a hotel, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, kind of. We're always trying to get away from Fibbers because we've played it so much, and we play it like all the time. We played it every single year we've been doing this, and it's just like we kind of want to move away from these kind of places and just try different venues, because it's always like really fun and interesting to go to a venue you've never been to before, or if you like put on your own show there and like rent out the venue, that's always really fun as well, because everything is organized the way you want it because you're the one organizing it. So we're trying to just broaden our horizons in terms of the venues that we're playing at. Not to say that, of course, we don't like playing Fibbers, because we do. It's fun. It's Fibbers, like, come on. But also the thing that I feel about Dublin is there's not that many like rock or metal bars, to be honest.
No.
To play in, full stop.
Yeah.
And
the feeling I get about Fibbers is that no one cares about the music there.
Yeah,
like everyone's in the smoking area. No one cares about you. Like, I mean, we tend to pull in, like when people are going getting drinks from the inside, we tend to pull in a fair few when we're playing, but like it's nothing compared to the, like, you see what's out there in the smoking area. It's ridiculous, the amount of people there, and they're just there to smoke. Like,
have you played the Siege actually, lads?
No, we haven't played Siege of Limerick.
No, we'd like to, but we haven't got the invite yet. So
Just apply to him. Send John an email and say, put your name on the hat for it. Like,
Yeah.
you won't
It's
get
pretty
anything.
regular, isn't it? It's twice a year. So
Twice a year. That's twice a year. There's one on Halloween and there's one in April or whatever Easter falls, basically.
Halloween's is a good month for metal gigs, I think. The Halloween and all that.
Unfortunately,
like Rob Zombie.
Doesn't look like we'll be having Clang on that weekend though. In the end, though, does it?
What's that?
Is Clang still maybe happening? Like
I know that there's been no announcement from them for 2 months, and 6-7 weeks ago, Coroner and Candlemas updated their dates for the year, and Clang has gone off it. So
Really?
Yeah.
So whatever's happened there isn't Dreader gone off it as well too. So
That's so ambitious having Candlemas in Ireland, like at a festival. I thought it was. They're one of the few old bands I like.
it was worth a try, but I don't know. It was a bit too big, too fast. Like if you started off in the Grand Social or somewhere, Fibbers or itself, or Drop Dead Twice or somewhere, just get the name out instead of going straight for the National Stadium. But sure,
Drop Dead Twice was the place where we first kind of, after our first gig in Fibbers, we played like 2 gigs and Drop Dead Twice. And I think it had just turned into Drop Dead Twice as well at the time.
Yeah, it was Tivoli backstage, and it was something else.
It was good because when we played there for those 2 gigs, only basically to our friends and family, we were so bad. Like those shows were like just terrible, and then we just keep learning from that, and still to this day. But back then, especially, we just learned what to do, what not to do. What to do when your string breaks. I don't know. Just like mess around on the song. I don't know. Like, no, now I know. Bring a spare guitar. In case your string breaks, pick up the other guitar. It's stuff like that you learn early on that like stays with you as you keep going through the years. And so that's the part I appreciate most about that venue.
Yeah, I've never actually been in it. It's a nice venue.
It's a nice venue.
It's small.
If
you've been to Chennai, it's like just the bar area of Chennai with a stage at the end. It's super small, very intimate.
They do lots of stuff in there, like lots of different kinds.
Yeah, they have like events and stuff. They've got like drag shows, and we played a Metallica tribute thing, Whiplash, the Metallica band. Did a show, and we also did like a when Lords of Chaos came out. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
the thing with Horrenda and Craven for that.
Yeah,
and they seem to, and the staff are like good crack as well. They're one of them in particular. One of the bartenders got up and started playing guitar, and he was clearly pissed, and it was just hilarious. But
it's the old Sweeney's crowd that are in charge of that. It's Griff, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it's Griff. It's Griffo. Yeah.
I was only in Sweeney's once before it.
I think it's
Mulligan and Haynes.
Fairly sure it's Griffo that's over Drop Dead Twice. So
I don't think I've met anyone managing it, as it were. I forget his name. I have his name in my phone somewhere, but under Drop Dead Twice. But it wasn't Griffo.
that's his nickname, though. That's his nickname. His nickname. He used to be he was a member of Knockenstocken as well, so he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was one of
That's something we should have played with the acoustic stuff.
Shame they stopped. Really big shame they stopped because that was as good as we were going to get here, lads. When it comes to an outdoor festival,
Knockenstocken, I've heard was unreal.
Well done. Really well done. I was a member of it for a few years, not a director or anything, but I was there for about 2 or 3 weeks, building and breaking and everything else in between. Like, great crack, but it was long fucking days, like 18-hour days. Like, near the end, you're just fueled by coffee and hatred,
Contempt for nature. Yeah,
it was worth it though. It was worth it building it all up and watching it all come together and trying to put up that fucking circus tent. Jesus Christ, man, that was hard work. Like, fucking hell.
I say it was a new experience.
But look, lads, you should definitely apply for the Siege of Limerick anyway, because John is always on the lookout, and it's a great little festival. Like,
we'll keep that in mind. It's something we definitely want to do. So I don't really know why we haven't played it yet, but
But
You
sure,
tell
you're
them taking notes.
only really building your name up, and next thing everything went wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you were
Well,
just
it could have
getting
gone
your
worse.
name out there proper. Like, people were starting to realize who you were, and you were getting a following, and that was that then. So it's just kind of rebuilding it all again now as such. But you're doing well so far, aren't you, with your turnouts and stuff? Like,
Definitely. Nothing like everything stopped, for 2 years, but like we had the name. But I think when that 2 years happened, that pandemic period, again, we came out of it better than before. And I think that our music is showing for it, getting more complicated, not like tech deathy kind of complicated, just more like, melodic. And it's just such the
Widdly.
direction that we're going in right now. We are so happy with, and it's just like this is what we've been waiting for. This is the kind of music that we want to play. We're something that I can't really describe, but it's just like feels so right.
Yeah, bog metal.
Bog metal.
Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting way to describe yourself, bog metal. Like,
that was we got that nickname from like my friend's dad or something after like one of our first few shows, and we just thought that was funny, so we kind of stuck with it. But like, I guess really we're like black and melodic death metal, if you want to get really specific. But
it's like Neurosis meets Alcest or Aglock or something.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, we're definitely getting more creepy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you lads have spent much time at the bog now, to be fair. Have you?
No, not really.
Charlie's currently very close to a forest.
I'm in the forest right now.
Yeah.
Where are you based? Are you based in Dublin or are you outside it?
We're based in Dublin.
Charlie's in Carlow half the time, but we're all in Dublin for the other half.
Yeah. What, are you in college or working or what?
Working away for now, anyway. Mainly just working to like for the band, because like the biggest motivation to like get money is to like buy new equipment or to rent out venues, to buy t-shirts, to make CDs, to make vinyls. That's putting the money to work.
Yeah, the landscaping is secondary, is it?
I still have to show up every day, but
when you were talking about the turnouts, I'm not sure if because the last gig we played before pandemic was January or something.
It was
like,
January.
It was a month or so before everything shut down. And we rented out the Workman's Club. We got Horrenda and Organ Ledger to play it, and we just about broke even. We got like a tenner off the door after paying for the room. So it's definitely not not as good as
definitely like it's hard for metal bands in Dublin and in Ireland in general, because like I think being a metal band in Ireland is it's like
there's not enough people
who don't listen to metal, they don't want to talk about it. It's like something that like shoved under the rug, nobody on the radio talks about it or ever plays it. It's never mentioned. It's like taboo, especially in Ireland, but like as opposed to somewhere in like Germany or like Scandinavian countries, it's like readily promoted and gets airtime, gets radio time, people know about it, but in Ireland it's just like it's not good, basically. So we try our best. That's
Ned, our old bass player, was talking about bringing us down to Croatia and up to Germany and stuff after pandemic ended, but then he had to leave. Anyway, but it's phenomenal. And especially like the kind of music you do here, heavy music, it's all like, I don't know, like, you've got your Iron Maidens, your Metallicas, and then you've got your like Veil of Panath, like everyone's either like yeah or and there's no like middle ground. There's no like melodic death metal or black metal kind of scene anywhere. It's like deathcore, or it's like stuff. We're sorely lacking that kind of thing.
When we first started playing in Dublin, the first thing I noticed, and I still notice it now, is that like the main bands that were playing were all metalcore bands.
Yeah,
that was like the scene at the time. It was like all about metalcore, like Dream Away and More of the Machines and stuff like
Neon Empire.
They're
still going.
Like it was just like that was it, and I was like, well, at least we're breathing some new life, something new to hear, because I never really was into metalcore anyway. So I was like, it's just like, I don't know, it's nice to play something else, I suppose.
It was so funny how often you would hear like a dubstep type like in the middle of a song. I'm like, what are you doing? Like fucking cross faith. I remember being into cross faith in like 2012 or something, and that was like it was getting old then. And for some reason, Dublin scene is kind of like it's still in the dubstep era, and like I guess fair. Like if there's a market for it, for sure. I just it's nice to see like I mean even now I've anytime in favors like it's sort of half and half between like obscure black metal looking logos like what's that show Senkar and Okus and Fornoth I want to go see.
That's really good.
That's cool, but then you also see like Dream Awake, Neon Empire. I can't remember exactly what show it is that I'm looking for here, but I saw it recently in Fibers, so I don't think it's happened yet. It's just funny to see that like and like next to each other in Fibers being promoted at the same place.
That's funny.
Yeah, because you know Fibers is not like it feels like an old crowd, you know. There's like a lot of people 50 plus there, and there's also like a bunch of basically teenagers there, and I guess we would fit in that category. But it's just it's funny to see the sort of I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's a middle ground, like a crowd of like 30 somethings. It's people who are like grew up with like original metal stuff, or it's people who are like grew up with the likes of Asking Alexandria and stuff.
But sure, that's probably because a lot of them have families that are around that age group, you know, that have kids and whatnot. They probably can't afford to go out or have the time to go out. Like
Yeah,
the older crowd have moved on from the kids or never had any, and the younger ones obviously are still young and don't have any responsibilities. So you kind of that demographic kind of gets ruled out by default, like, you know.
Yeah.
If they have a few bob, they'll probably go to Iron Maiden or Metallica or something else, like, you know.
Yeah, something proper.
They make a day out of it, you know.
Yeah, hanging around Fibbers does sound a bit, you know, it's not what I would want to be doing if I weren't playing a show there. It feels really sad there, you know. That's kind of the main energy you've got.
It's just kind of funny. It's fun to play, but it is kind of odd.
Yeah.
Sure, we knock on a bit of your music, so
Go on.
well, we're going to go with Doulahan in the end, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Sure.
Yeah, we were doing a bit of a democracy here originally when there was 4 of us, so and there was 2 to 1 on this song, so we might as well keep John's wishes intact. Even
what he would have wanted.
Here we go. When the
Oh,
there.
you,
It's like nearly 3 minutes of
you
it.
missed
So.
the best part, man.
Yeah.
It's the end. The dun dun ding 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 ding. Like 20 seconds after this. Man, just skip like 10 more seconds. Like this part's boring. Yeah.
There we go. On the end. Oh, it's a great track though.
No, yeah, I love playing that live because the when that riff comes in, the dun, 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 you know, for the first like half of it, no one's really sure what to do. Like, yeah, and you do the big like, and then when it comes back in, the dun, dun, everyone's like, "Fuck yeah!" It's great to see people understand how to mosh to something in real time. You know, we
You've got a lot going on there. Like as you say, like the first track you released, Frost, was like very Almani Marty. You've gone a completely fucking different direction here altogether with that one. Like, and you said you're changing again now. Like,
I mean, they're both on the same release, so it's a little misleading maybe, but yeah, it's one of our earlier kind of songs that we just put on the start because I really like the intro and I think that it's a very good song to start off with.
mm.
It's a good song, but like it doesn't represent us as well as say Crystal Moonlight or Dullahan. Like maybe a few years ago it would have been a good representation, but like not anymore.
Yeah, but it's nice to like we've almost got our complete like the path we took there. You know, you've got Frost, which is kind of like it's melodic, but it's like it's very simple chords wise, and it kind of just like drones on. And then you've got Descendant is what we called it, and that's like it's got the kind of it's got like a hoppy riff. It's like ooh yeah. Then you've got Cursed, which is way more widdly, I think is the word we use for that. Yeah, and then Dullahan just goes like, "What are you doing?" And that's where we've ended up. Fun fact about the end, it kind of came through weird on the microphone there, but the end bit of that song, Dullahan, we stole it from Stones from the Sky by Neurosis. I don't know if you've heard it. It's the it starts cutting out as if you're like listening to it on a Bluetooth speaker on purpose. And John and Charlie and I all really like that.
Yeah, we kind of like because that like A Sun That Never Sets is me and John's favorite album ever, and like Stones from the Sky is like our favorite song ever. So we thought it's a kind of a similar vibe to what's happening at the end of that song, where it's all kind of like feels like it's all coming crashing down and then it just ends. And so we thought that like for the end of Dullahan, this is like a similar vibe, and I think that kind of thing would suit this very well. So we decided to put it in, and I like the way it turned out. So
Oh, it's a great way to end it. Like it just kind of building up, and then next thing is just that's it, stop.
Yeah, that's how we like to end our sets too. Our most recent the show we just did there, we did a fake ending with Puka, and then we came back with Doulahan, and it was balls to the wall. But let's go. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, but you must be doing something right because you said you've got a following, and now you're playing Bloodstock, and opportunities are coming your way, and it's well done for holding out through because a lot of bands didn't hold out through the last 2 years. Like I know a lot of them didn't. They just fell asunder, or someone left, or you've got new members and you're going for it. So all I can say is best of luck now, and make sure you put up that flag of Bloodstock and just talk to people. Get drunk on the fucking Thursday, lads, and just go not too drunk in the way you get your performance, but just but make sure and try and be friendly to people, because I remember Black Shuck, I know Brendan for years. Like we used to run gigs in Galway together, Damaging Galway, and he was just going around chatting to people, and next thing you know, people were just all saying, "Oh, we're going to see Black Shuck," like because he got talking to them on the campsite, like
Yeah, that's cool. Good. I'm gonna have to.
Bloodstock is such a friendly festival. Like everyone there is nice. People say,
of course,
you couldn't go to a festival where everyone is nice, but you'd be doing well to find a dickhead at Bloodstock. I swear to God, like you've really gotten lucky if you find one.
Oh.
Well, luckily we're coming, so.
World's nicest metal band.
Oh no. Anyways, we'll leave it at that now. Anyway, and
all right, sure.
best of luck at Bloodstock, and if anyone is watching this, hopefully people watch it, but make sure to check out Fornoth on Facebook and all the rest, and Bandcamp and Spotify, and as I say, best of luck at Bloodstock, and
thanks, Phil.
Cheers for having us coming on, lads.
That was our pleasure. Thanks very much.
All right, lads. Thanks. 100%.
Sorry, couldn't all be here.